Hey guys, it's Lainey, and today is another video of Top 5 Wednesday. Today's Top 5 Wednesday topic is our top 5 tropes we hate, because last month we did tropes that we actually like, and this time we're doing tropes that we actually hate. First, I gotta shout out one booktuber and one blogger. For the blogger, I'm shouting out Valerie from Little Dutch Bookshop. I'm a sucker for people who do playlists for different books, and when I saw that she did a playlist for the Bone season, I was all over that. So definitely go check out Valerie's blog. And for the booktuber, I'm shouting out Trina from Between the Chapters. I've been following her for so long, and she's just so eloquent and so well spoken, and I love watching her Tuesday Talks videos, and I've always wanted to do a Tuesday Talks, but I've never... Where do I find a Tuesday Talk? Someone tell me. Let's get into the list for today, and as I'm looking at my list, because I wrote it down on a piece of paper, I have more than 5 right now, and I haven't ordered them yet. I was just kind of like gonna wing it, but as I'm looking at them, I'm like, damn, there's like, can all these be on my list right now? So hold on a second while I real quick order these ones together. Okay, so coming in at number 5 is a trope that I'm sure is going to be on a lot of people's lists, but I feel like it's a trope that should be avoided. And how does people still fall into this trope? And that is, of course, insta-love. The biggest example I have for insta-love right now is The Jewel by Amy Ewing. I notoriously hated this book because of the insta-love. When I come across insta-love in a story, it's like I instantly bring down the grading that I would have given it, because I like when relationships develop very naturally and very, sometimes even resistantly. I just like when, you know, they're not meeting on page 40 and then saying I love you on page 100. Like, it just doesn't work that way. Coming in at number 4 is the trope of the new boy character coming in for the first time, and he introduces our main heroine to everything wrong in the world, you know, opens her eyes to what's really going on in the world. I hate that. I really hate when a guy is brought in solely to open the eyes of the heroine. Right now, my most recent example of this is The Scorpion Rules by Aaron Bow. It's a shame because the main boy character in this book could have been a really great character, but he was literally only brought into the story just to wake our main heroine up and make her realize certain problems that are going on around her, and how things outside of the wall, the facility that they're in, is not everything of what she seems. And I just don't like when characters are brought in just to do that. It's just a plot device, and I hate plot devices. Because you know who's the biggest plot device that I always think of? And it's Matt from the Vampire Diaries. He literally has no purpose other than to do something for another character. Coming in at number 3 is the trope where the protagonist or other characters in the story are holding these high-ranking positions even though they're still 17 years old. I don't find that very believable. That one really irritates me. Some examples of this are, you know, as much as I love this series, Legend series, June gets promoted really, I don't know why she's in those positions that she's in. Even Aaron from The Winter's Curse, which I love, he also he's like the leader of his country's rebellion, and I just don't know if I believe that. Even you can have a big voice being a rebel or being, you know, in the military, but do you need to be the highest of the high to achieve that part of the story? I don't think so. I'm thinking of some other books, but they're books that I said I'd never mention again on my channel. So, you know, there's that character, if you catch my drift. And I'd never believed that he was 18 years old and the captain of the guard. I just don't believe that. I just don't. Coming in at number 2 is the Manic Pixie Dream Girl. I hate the Manic Pixie Dream Girl. That quirky girl, and she's everywhere. She's everywhere. I found her first in Feed by M.T. Anderson. Violet in that book is a Manic Pixie Dream Girl. I also tried reading Paper Towns and I got 16 pages in, and Margot is too Manic Pixie Dream Girl for me. I'm trying to continue for the sake of annotating it, but oh man, it's tough to get through that book. And finally, coming in at number 1 is a trope that I don't really know what the name of it's called, but I call it pulling an Edward. The first time I saw it was in Twilight, specifically in New Moon, when Edward leaves for pretty much the entire goddamn book. And after I read that, I see in other YA books, specifically in paranormal romances, but in other books as well, especially in dystopian and sometimes fantasy, I'm seeing this trend where the love interest kind of leaves in the second book, and you're like, because you fell in love with that ship in the first book and you're expecting more feels and more shippy feels in the second book, but you barely get it because where did they go? They leave. Other characters that have pulled Edwards is Perry from Under the Never Sky, which breaks my heart to say. Also Aaron from The Winter's Curse. He kind of does his own thing in the second book. Kaiden from the Sweet Evil trilogy, he pieces out in the second book as well. Don't know how much that infuriates me when the guys pull an Edward in the second book. Does that irritate you guys? Because I feel like it does. I've been holding the Sharpie, been using it to point. I am my mother, because my mother's a teacher. That's it for my Top 5 Wednesday. I hope you guys enjoyed it. What are some tropes that you guys absolutely hate? I would love to know. Hope you guys all have a really great day, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye!